With us now is the Florida Governor, Ron DeSantis, who's kind enough to join us on the phone. Governor, thank you for joining us. What about these ships? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so I think actually we're going to have a solution. You know, when this first came on our radar, I was told that these ships were all foreign nationals and that they had no connection to Florida. So I was just like, why would you just bring them to Florida? It turns out there are American citizens, and we actually have Floridians. I think there's 30 or 40 Floridians. And so the county is working on a plan to be able to get the Floridians back safely expatriate the foreign nationals so that they're not mixing with our community. I've offered National Guard support to be able to help in that effort. We were concerned about a deluge into the hospitals, but I think it turns out that there will probably be some who will need to go, but it's very, very manageable, and the local hospital system thinks that they can handle it. So I actually think that they're going to be able to deal with this in a way that makes sense. And obviously, once we found out that there were American citizens and Floridians especially on board, we wanted to find a way to make it work. There is a concern, of course, given that we have most of our cases down in those two counties, that if you had folks infected and then they were going to the airport or going to different areas, that could potentially continue to help the spread. But I think that they have it figured out so that it'll all be done safely, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to come to a resolution on that very soon.
Would they dock in Fort Lauderdale? Where would they go?
Yeah, I think they would. But what would happen is they would, the Floridians, obviously, there's some of the Floridians live right in Broward, and some of the other Floridians, would be taken to, where they're from. The foreigners, I think there will be flights arranged for them. They will not go into the airport. It'll be done to where there's not going to be an opportunity to spread coronavirus to the people of Florida. So I think it's a thoughtful approach that they're working on, and hopefully the cruise line will, be willing to agree to some of the terms the county wants. But look, at the end of the day, Neil, I think that we've seen these cruise ships be big problems with this virus, and I know they're not sailing, any new ones, but this is going to continue to be a problem, and so we just want to make sure that people are safe, both on those ships, but particularly on shore in places like the state of Florida.
Now, Governor, today you also issued a stay-at-home order. Many of your critics and Democrats who wrote letters to you to say that you shouldn't put this off. You've done that. How will it work? When does it take effect?
Well, so just so your viewers know, Southeast Florida has 60% of our cases. We have done stay-at-home in conjunction with the mayor of Miami-Dade. So they've been under restrictions for a couple weeks now. I had some counties. I have counties of 500,000 people that have only a handful of cases. So we had not done it statewide, but in our hot spot that had been done. Now with the president doing the extra 30 days, my view is look, the country's hit the pause button. We've hit the pause button. This is the number 1, 2, 3 priority. I know there was talk about getting the economy back a little sooner, but I think that unless we just deal with this, and so I felt it made sense to extend it statewide. And obviously we have a lot of parts of Florida that haven't been hit as hard as Miami or Broward, but we want to keep it that way, and we don't want to see more spread in those areas. If it's just Southeast Florida, that's kind of our epicenter. Yeah. We've put a lot of resources down there. We don't want there to be a massive surge, obviously, but we've got a lot of resources staged there. So I think it's the best policy for the state at this time.
How are you policing the beaches and crowds going to the beaches? We've got hundreds, thousands of miles of it, if you think about it. I'm just
we have no crowds on any public space of 10 or more, and so some places just close every public space because they don't want to police it. Some people let people go to a park, whatever. But what happens is, our whole state is a coastline. And so you can have a beach be closed, but guess what? Unless you're policing it 24/7, people go out there. So I was flying out of Miami. We're going up the coast. I see a slew of beaches that are, quote, closed, but you do have people go out there. So this is kind of like whack-a-mole. People are going to do different things. But, a lot of the stuff in the media that was played about, like the spring break, that was before the CDC had changed their guidance. So they were saying 1,000 people groups were fine. That was like 4 days before the 15 days to stop the spread. So that escalated quickly. And then once that happened, the groups were banned all throughout the state of Florida. So, but we are seeing other areas of the state. I mean, people do congregate in private residences and other things, and we have 21.5 million people. I mean, it's definitely a challenge. Most people have been doing a great job, and I want to thank the people of Florida for doing a great job.
Thank you, Governor, very, very much. I know you're quite busy. Ron DeSantis, the governor of the beautiful state of Florida right now, where a stay-at-home order is now, or will be, I believe, tomorrow night, in effect.